Hello and welcome to Success in the Classroom. Super excited today to be on location at Santa Rosa Adult School, and joining me today is Principal Larry Herringer. Welcome, Mr. Herringer.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming out today.
Wonderful. We're so excited. I know there's just so much to dive into today. But first, talking about Santa Rosa Adult School, how long has this school been here?
So actually, Santa Rosa Adult School has been here for 77 years.
Wow.
So we started initially right after World War II, right at the end of World War II. So in 1945, there were a lot of service members that were returning back from serving their country, and they wanted to use the GI Bill, but many of them ended up leaving their educational institution, high school or whatever that was, to go and serve. And so they hadn't completed that high school credential. And so Santa Rosa Adult School was started to be able to go ahead and help them complete that credential so that they could then use their GI Bill and move on to college and succeed in life.
Wow. Oh my goodness. What a history lesson. Okay, so that was amazing. I did not know that. I'm pretty sure there's tons of stakeholders watching now that probably didn't know that either. That is awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely.
So you've given us now like what the original origin of this school was at the time. Fast forward 77 years later, that puts us where we are today. Talk to us a little bit about what this has now evolved into.
Absolutely. So now we've evolved into a multiple group of different programs. And so what we really like to say is that we kind of have the umbrella school that is Santa Rosa Adult School.
Okay.
Underneath that, we have a K-12 dropout prevention high school program, and that serves students that are 16 through 21.
Okay.
And those students come to us for a wide range of different reasons, but generally speaking, they are behind their peers in terms of graduation. And so many of them are as much as 2 years behind their peers in terms of graduation.
Okay.
And so that school serves to go ahead and help them get caught up and be able to hopefully graduate, if not on time, then as close to on time as possible. Also under that umbrella, we have all of our adult education programs.
Okay.
And those have a whole different funding model, and they look quite a bit different from our K-12 program.
Okay.
Under those adult education programs, we have our Adult Basic Education, or ABE, and GED classes.
Okay.
ABE is really a program designed to help build basic skills to be able to take and pass the GED examination. Okay. And then, of course, the GED classes are the next phase of that, so that students can get some preparation to be able to do better on the GED exam.
Okay.
We also have the adult high school programs, and those serve to help students to pass specific courses that they might be lacking to be able to meet their high school graduation requirements.
Okay.
And so that population is typically somewhere between 16 and 22. However, we will get a lot of students that come to us that are, in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And so that's just a wide range of people there. Also, under the adult high school program, we have co-enrolled students. Okay. And so those might be students that are at a traditional high school somewhere. That might be our traditional K-12 high school that I talked about previously.
Okay.
Or it could be any of the other high schools in the district: Pace, Milton, Navarre, Gulf Breeze, Central, Jay, any of those schools.
Okay.
So they are able to come to that adult high school program and complete credits that they might be lacking, and they can't fit into their regular high school schedule.
Okay.
So there are a lot of rules that go with that program. I won't get into all of that, but it does serve as a method for students to be able to make up credits that they might be lacking.
Okay.
Also, in addition to that, we've got a bunch of other programs. We have programs at the Santa Rosa County Jail, so we have a corrections program where we do those ABE and GED classes.
Wow.
We also serve adult ESOL population, and so students that might be wanting to improve their English language skills and go ahead and use that to transition into one of those ABE GED classes to be able to build credentials so that they can go ahead and enter the workforce. We've got a program for that. And we also have the WIOA Youth Services Program.
Okay.
WIOA Youth Services helps connect students to both in-school youth and out-of-school youth to services that, career-based type services.
Okay.
And so really it's focused on helping students to enter the workforce. So there's a lot of components to that, but it essentially is to help students increase their ability to connect with the workplace.
Right, right.
And so let's see. We're also have been for the last couple of years starting what we call IET programs. The
What is that?
IET is Integrated Education and Training, and
Okay,
so
okay.
it is a program that is really embedded within our adult basic education, GED, and adult high school classes. And so those programs focus on helping students to not only achieve that credential, whether that's the adult high school diploma
Okay.
or the GED, but also to be able to attain a credential of value. And in the case of the ones that we're talking about, that is paraprofessional. It is the advanced custodial.
Okay.
There's a credential for that.
Okay.
And then there's ServSafe Manager. And we also have a partnership with Laughlin Technical Center
Okay.
for welding.
Okay.
So really, it's about trying to get students some workplace skills,
Right.
and then also get them a credential that's workplace focused,
Okay.
and whatever that educational credential that they might need, adult high school or GED.
Well, I tell you, that is just a huge array of programs and pathways and opportunities to get students to the next level. That is amazing. Now, you mentioned your adult learners. And so we also know that we have high school students on
Right.
campus. So help kind of clarify a little bit for me or detail for me, what does it look like having both high school and adult learners? Are they on campus at the same time, or what does that look like?
Generally, they're not on campus at the same time. There are a few small exceptions to that. Pretty much our day high school dropper prevention program is operated during the day.
Okay.
That serves regular hours that are very close to what you see at a regular traditional high school.
Okay.
Ours runs from 9:15 to 3:23 every day, Monday through Friday. Where our adult programs run at night. And so there are different classes within the window, but they generally run from 4 to 9 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday nights.
Okay, okay.
And so generally they're not crossing over a whole lot. However, one of the things that we try to do a lot of is reducing barriers for students. And so sometimes barriers are time and location.
Okay.
And so, one of the ways that we do that is that we offer a class during the day for those ABE and GED students. So if a student's not able to come because of work or family commitments or whatever that might be to a day program or to a night program, then they could come to that day class.
Okay.
We also address that barrier to location by having multiple locations throughout the county.
Okay.
So we also have those night programs that I mentioned, the adult high school, the ABE, GED, and adult ESOL down at Navarre High School at night on Tuesday and Thursdays.
Wow.
Same
Okay.
time frame, that 4 to 9 p.m. So we're really trying to do whatever we can to try and connect
Right.
with students where they are,
Absolutely.
and in the time frame that is convenient to them.
Okay, great, great. Now, about roughly between your high school learners, your ESOL learners, your adult learners, roughly what is the student population here for Santa Rosa Adult?
Sure, absolutely. So that changes a lot throughout the year, and
Okay.
a lot of that changes for good things. We have students coming in and out of the programs, but a lot of times the students leaving the program, it's because we've managed to get them to that credential and they've been able to graduate or earn their GED or something like that.
Right.
So throughout an entire year, we might see 220 students in the day high school dropper prevention program,
Okay.
and then another 534 students. That's what we saw last year in the adult programs combined.
Wow.
And so, that ends up being, up into the 700s of students,
Right.
that we might see. Currently, right this minute, we have 169 students in our day high school program, which is actually exceeds what we typically try to, what we have capacity for.
Okay.
And so we've actually had to, delay enrollment for some students,
Okay, okay.
and so a lot of times that looks looks like they might have to go to the adult classes and work on that for a semester or something
Okay.
like that until they can come in, or maybe they might stay at their traditional high school for a semester until we
Right,
can get them
right.
into that program.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
in the night programs currently on roll right now, I think we've got 400 and something enrolled, and so it's pretty sizable. So.
Okay. Now, as educators, lifelong educators, we know that our ultimate goal is to help students be successful.
Right, absolutely.
But we also know that success looks different for every student.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you could just kind of, you've talked about so many things that you offer to students, but let's talk a little bit about some of the successes that students and the programs here have had over the last few years.
Right, absolutely. So, what we really like to focus on individual student success,
Okay.
and so that's really our core. What we're looking at is whether each individual student succeeds.
Okay.
But that looks, we need to be able to measure that in some way.
Right.
And because so many students come to us, with some significant deficiencies as far as credits and those kinds of things, what we've chosen to kind of look at is our success rate. And our success rate looks different across those programs.
Okay.
But generally, for the high school programs, that's both the day and the adult high school, that looks like whether a student was supposed to earn a credit and they did or they didn't.
Okay.
And so many years ago, probably 7 or 8 years ago, we were at about a 25% success rate. Okay,
Wow.
we implemented a lot of changes, and that brought us to about a 70% success rate.
Whoa.
And so over the past several years, so last year we had our success rate for each quarter up in the 80s, okay? And so overall we ended up with a mid-80s success rate. This year, the first two quarters, we've actually been up in the 90s. So
Wow.
we're progressing towards some really good stuff.
Absolutely.
That all translates into those individual students being able to graduate and succeed in life.
Correct.
So it kind of matches up, though, when you look at the overall success rate thing. So if you look at like a traditional high school, they're going to receive a letter grade,
Okay.
the A grade or the B grade or whatever that might be. Because our school is an alternative education program, we get rated differently.
Okay.
And we receive what's called a school improvement rating.
Okay.
So if you look at the past 5 years, we have received the highest rating possible, which is commendable, for the 2 years before COVID.
Okay,
The
okay.
2 COVID years we were not rated because
Right.
that was an issue there, and then of course last
Everything
year.
slowed down.
Right. Yep.
Stuff, yeah.
Absolutely. So, and then last year we received a commendable rating also. Okay.
Wonderful.
Which also, that. If you want to take that into relation, I believe there's only about 25% of schools across the entire state that receive that
I was
commendable
about
rating.
to say, I think that number was very minimal, and you guys were in the number.
Right, yeah,
so
exactly.
that is totally, totally awesome. I am so, listen, I feel like I want to come out and be a part of something. Like, what can I come and get enrolled in?
Right, absolutely.
I'm so pumped up and motivated right now. So I think, let's just walk around. Is
Sure.
that okay?
Yeah, that's
can we
fine.
take a look
Yeah,
at what's
we can go
happening
out and
there?
take a look.
Great.
So what you'll see out here today is going to be our generally our day high school program. That's
Okay.
that dropper prevention program that I talked about.
Okay.
And like I said before, these students, they come to us for a wide range of different reasons, but generally it's they want to succeed and they want to they want to graduate, and that's really reflected in our school motto, which is "I will graduate, I will succeed." We try to keep it super simple and stay
Yes.
focused on the facts.
Yes.
So that's what you're going to see when you go out there today, and you might even see some signage up about "I will graduate, I will succeed."
Wonderful. Sounds good. Well, hey, let's go.
All right, sounds great.
This is my first year in Santa Rosa Adult School. So far, it's better than any of my other schools that I've been to. It's helped me get through a lot of work and helped me get my grades up. And I plan on coming back after I graduate to do welding.
this is more than a school. It's a family, and they like, the teachers are very helpful, and like when they expect a lot, but it's a family. So the motivation they put behind it makes you a successful person.
That was amazing. You guys, your teachers, your staff, and your amazing students. Wonderful. Thank you for letting us walk around and kind of interrupt their day a little bit. But that was super spectacular.
Absolutely.
Now, I have to ask you, before we close out, what is on the horizon under your leadership, your team's leadership? What's on the horizon for Santa Rosa Adult School?
So really what we want to do, and we've already made great strides towards this, but what we want to do is be the premier place that students can go who are at risk of not graduating, or maybe they are struggling academically, but that premier place in Florida for students to come and for us to be able to help them be successful. And so that's really, we try to keep it super simple here,
Right.
you know, and simply put, we just need to keep upping our game every day, every month, every year to try and continue to achieve that success. And we're on that right pathway, but I also firmly believe that we don't need to get complacent in our successes, and
Right.
we need to keep pushing because our students deserve that.
I am a successful person because of all the stuff they helped me with.
Listen, thank you so much for taking the time out to talk with us today and for letting us visit your wonderful campus. So folks, you heard it here, Santa Rosa Adult High School, they have an array of programs. If you or you know someone who needs to get involved, give them a call, and we'll see you next time on Success in the Classroom.